Good evening once again to my fans. Yeah, I'm back to you with another show where the Champions League draw. Yeah, the group phase draw of the Champions League for 2025 and 2026 season. As usual, when the show was going on, the draw, I was doing live on TikTok. Yeah, I was doing live on TikTok. So I did it show live on TikTok, and then I'm now doing this for those of my fans on YouTube. As you can see from the screen, yeah, the pairings once again is not easy at all for some teams. Yeah, looking at a team like Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City, Liverpool, and then Inter Milan, Chelsea, Dortmund, Barcelona, Arsenal, Leverkusen, Atleti, de Madrid, Benfica, Atalanta, Villarreal, Juventus, Frankfurt, Club Brugge, Tottenham, PSV, Ajax, Napoli, Sporting CP, Olympiacos, Silva, Praha, and then Bordeaux or Ghent. Any one of them that qualifies is the one that is going to face this team. And then Olympic Marseille, Copenhagen, Monaco, Galatasaray, Union SG, Karabakh, Athletic Club, Newcastle, Pafos, Kairat Almaty. Yeah, so these are the teams that will be facing each other in the group phase. But there are some teams that are cooked. They are cooked here. Why am I saying that these teams are cooked up? Let's start with Paris Saint-Germain. They'll be playing Bayern Munich at home. Then Paris will travel to Barcelona and play Barca, and then they will play Atlanta at home, then traveling to Leverkusen. Ask yourself a question: how will the game be playing between PSG and Bayern Munich? Let me give you a brief history, right? Remember that in 2020, during the COVID, the Champions League finals were played between Bayern Munich and PSG, and Bayern Munich won the Champions League by 1-0 against PSG. That goal was scored by this France player. It's rather unfortunate that I forgot it. Kingsley Coman. He scored a goal against PSG. And in fact, remember, he started from PSG Academy. So a player from PSG Academy scored a goal against them in the Champions League final in 2020. Then now we also know the records between PSG and Barcelona. It's not an easy game at all. PSG and Barcelona. We know the number of times that they've met, and the number of goals that they've scored against each other, and then the number of wins. So looking at the current form of PSG and then the current form of Barcelona. Remember, had it not been Inter Milan last season, the Champions League finals could have been played between PSG and Barcelona. But Inter Milan along the way blocked Barcelona for playing the Champions League final. And this is one of the games that will be a mouth-watering game that everybody will love to watch. The former coach of Barcelona, that is Luis Enrique, coaching Paris Saint-Germain with their style, coming to play Barcelona at the Camp Nou. That will be a big match, and I know that on that day everybody will be sitting behind their screen watching that game. Those that will have the chance to travel to Camp Nou to go and watch that game will do. But those of us who will not have the chance to travel, we will sit at home behind our screen, and then we'll be licking our mouth watching this game. Yeah, because it's going to be a cracker. That's going to be a game to watch. Looking at this particular group, the team that has the chance of qualifying, being part of the top 8, PSG, Bayern Munich, and then Barcelona. Atlanta, it will be a tough thing for Atlanta. Anyway, remember that Atlanta will only play PSG in this group. Remember, Atlanta will only play PSG in this group. So looking at the teams that PSG will play before they qualify, these are the tough games that are in. Now, PSG will play Bayern Munich. They will play Barcelona. It's a tough game. Playing Atalanta is a tough game. Bayer Leverkusen will make it easy for PSG. Tottenham, we all saw Tottenham versus PSG in the UEFA Super Cup, right? And you saw what Tottenham did. And then playing Newcastle also won't be an easy game, and playing Atletico Club, the Athletic Club, that is Atletico Bilbao. You understand? And PSG will have to travel from Paris to Spain and play Bilbao. So looking at these games that PSG will have to play, it's not an easy thing. So it means that they will have to win their games against Bayern Munich, win their games against Barcelona, Atlanta, Leverkusen, Tottenham, Newcastle, and Athletic de Bilbao. Even Sporting CP, that we are thinking that they will be the weaker side of this group, I don't think so. They will give PSG a contest. They will map up a strategy that will make sure that they put PSG at bay. So that is for PSG. That is their group. Now moving on to Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Why is it that from 2020, Real Madrid has been constantly playing Man City? From 2020, it's like the Champions League. I haven't seen a Champions League from 2020 to now that Real Madrid has not come face to face with Man City. What is going on? Is it a plan that they always plan to see Man City and then Real Madrid playing as it used to be some time ago, Chelsea and then Barcelona always playing in the Champions League? Is that what they are planning for Real Madrid, that every day or any time that there is a Champions League, Man City has to face Real Madrid? And then remember last season, Madrid traveled to Anfield and lost by 2-0. And again, this season, they are going to Anfield again. And this is going to be a return of Trent Alexander-Arnold. After leaving Liverpool to Real Madrid, he will be returning home to play against his boyhood club. Real Madrid versus Juventus at the Bernabeu. It's not going to be an easy game. I said this on TikTok and I'm saying it here. Anytime Juventus play Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, that game becomes very tough and difficult for Madrid. So see you, Madrid playing Man City. After Man City, their next game is playing Liverpool. When they are done with Liverpool, they will be playing Juventus. And they will be traveling to Portugal to go and play Benfica. And we saw what Benfica did with Barcelona last season, right? Olympique Marseille. Olympiacos, fine, that one is a weak game that Madrid at all costs they win. But playing Olympiacos and then playing Olympique Marseille and then AS Monaco. Then after Monaco, Real Madrid will have to travel 13 solid hours to Kazakhstan to go and play Kiarat Almaty. So imagine that the game is on, even if they are playing on Tuesday, Real Madrid will have to travel on Monday. So it means that if they have a game on Saturday, when they finish their game on Saturday, Monday they are traveling to Kazakhstan for 13 good hours. They will be in the air for 13 solid hours to travel to Kazakhstan to go and play them. So when they finish their game on Tuesday, they will come on Wednesday, spending the whole day in the air, and when they land, then they come and prepare. If they have a game on Saturday, they will be tired. Then what about they playing this particular game on Wednesday? So it means that they will have to move from Spain on Tuesday, get there, play the game on Wednesday, rest, and fly from Kazakhstan back to Spain on Thursday. And if they are to play Atletico Madrid or any of the big games, teams in Spain at the weekends, how will that game be for Real Madrid? So it's going to be a tough game, or something that is difficult for Real Madrid to do it. That is playing this Kiarat Almaty in Kazakhstan. But looking at the fixtures that Real Madrid have, I don't understand. Last season they have a tough fixture, and then this season too. playing Man City, Liverpool, Juventus, Benfica, Marseille, Olympiacos, and Monaco. The only weak team that is in this group is Kairat Almaty. Something is going on, and then UEFA has to look at it. Then now let's move on to Man City. Man City, the teams that they will be playing in the group phase. They will play Borussia Dortmund, and of course Madrid, Leverkusen, Villarreal. So it means that Man City will be traveling to Spain twice. They will be going to Spain. They will play Real Madrid in the capital city. Then also they will play Villarreal at the outskirts of the capital city. Then from there they will go to Italy and play Napoli. And then remember, Antonio Conte, being the Naples coach, has an experience with Guardiola's Man City. Remember that he has been a coach for Chelsea and then Tottenham Hotspur in England before, so he knows the style of play of Man City. Then Man City will be playing Bordeaux or Glimt. Then from there they will move on to Galatasaray and then play their last game against AS Monaco. So this is the fixture. The fixtures for Man City. The only tough game that is in here for them, that is against Real Madrid and Napoli. The rest is just a walk away. Then we move on to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, as you can see from the screen, Bayern Munich will be playing Chelsea. And remember the records between Bayern Munich and Chelsea. In 2012, the Champions League finals was held at Allianz Arena in Germany. Yeah, so Bayern Munich played in their own backyard and lost to Chelsea. So the game ended 1-1 in the 90 minutes. They played the extra time, no goals, and then they played a penalty shootout. That was where Chelsea won by 7-6 against Bayern Munich to leave the 2011-2012 Champions League trophy in the hands of Bayern Munich. Then Bayern Munich will play Paris Saint-Germain. And also there has been a game between Bayern Munich and PSG. Remember the 2020 Champions League finals? It was played between Bayern Munich and PSG, and the final was won by Bayern Munich. And also in another match between PSG and Bayern Munich, that was just recently in the FIFA Club World Cup. The quarterfinals game. That was a game between Bayern Munich and PSG, and in fact, getting to the later part of the game, it was still goalless draw, and PSG were down by 9-11. So they were down by 2 men. So PSG played 9-11 against Bayern Munich, but yet still they managed to score 2 goals in the quarterfinals to kick Bayern Munich out of the Champions League. So playing again, do you think that Bayern Munich is going to make it easy for Paris Saint-Germain? Then their next game will be Club Brugge, and this Club Brugge game is just going to be a sweet victory for Bayern Munich. Then another tough match for Bayern Munich, playing Arsenal. We all know the history between Bayern and Arsenal. Over here it is Bayern that will travel to Emirates to play against Arsenal. They will go to Emirates Stadium to play against Arsenal. And we know Bayern performance at the Emirates Stadium is always fantastic. Whenever they are playing away against Arsenal, they always play well. It is only when Arsenal travel to the Munich Allianz Arena, that is when they can also play well against Bayern Munich. So looking at this game, obviously it looks like Bayern Munich is going to carry the day. Then they'll be playing Sporting CP. Now after playing Sporting CP, they play PSV, Union SG, and then Pafos. So looking at the fixtures for Bayern Munich, the only big games that is in here that Bayern Munich will play in Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, and then Arsenal. The rest of the 5 games is just a walk away for Bayern Munich. Now let's move on to Liverpool. Liverpool on the screen, as you can see, Liverpool will be playing Real Madrid. Last season they played, and in fact they've played a lot of games. So if you know the history between Real Madrid and Liverpool, Real Madrid has the upper hand over Liverpool. But this time around, remember last year, Real Madrid visited Liverpool at Anfield, and then they were beaten by 2-0. They were beaten by 2-0 under Carlo Ancelotti. And last year, when Liverpool were defeating Real Madrid, Trent Alexander-Arnold was part of the team that defeated Real Madrid. But this time around, he is on the other side, going to play for Real Madrid. So it's going to be a return to the Anfield Sports Stadium by Trent Alexander-Arnold, going to play against his boyhood club. Then Liverpool will play against Inter Milan after playing Real Madrid. Then they'll be playing Atletico Madrid. Then Eintracht Frankfurt. Then after playing Eintracht Frankfurt, they have PSV, Olympique Marseille, Karabakh, and then Galatasaray. So looking at these fixtures, it is only these three clubs that can give Liverpool a contest. That is Real Madrid, Inter Milan, and then Atletico de Madrid. Now we move on from Liverpool fixtures and we go on to Inter Milan. As usual, will be playing Liverpool, Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal. This is another game to watch. There is a history between Inter Milan and Arsenal, and most of the time when Inter moves to Arsenal's home, that is where they go to cause a surprise. Then Arsenal will also have to wait and go to Italy and cause a surprise at the San Siro. But over here, Arsenal will play home to Inter Milan. And if you remember the heydays of Thierry Henry, you will see that yes, there was a game that has been played between Inter and Arsenal, and then Inter versus Atletico Madrid. Honestly speaking, I would say this is going to be a true Italian club. Someone will ask, but Atletico Madrid plays in Spain. Yes, it is true. But looking at their style of play, they love playing a low block, highly defensive game and then catching you on a break. So when Inter and then Atletico Madrid are playing, I would say it's a true Italian team playing because of the style of play of Atletico Madrid. Then from there they'll be playing Slavia Praha, then Ajax Amsterdam, the Kairat Almaty, and then Union FC. So for Inter Milan to qualify from this group, then they will have to deal with Liverpool, Dortmund, Arsenal, and then Atleti. The rest of the 4 games, definitely, whether they like it or not, Inter is going to win and then get a stray point. But the other 4 games, that is playing against Liverpool, Dortmund, Arsenal, and then Atletico Madrid, that is where Inter will find themselves wanting as to how to go through these teams. So let's wait and see on the day, and then we'll see how things will turn out. Now there's another big game, that is Chelsea playing Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Benfica, Atlanta, Ajax, Napoli, Pafos, and Karabakh. Do you remember the heydays of Jose Mourinho, Chelsea? There you can see John Terry in the defense, then Ashley Cole on the left hand side, then you see Claude McLeary in the midfield, then Didier Drogba, Arjen Robben, Frank Lampard, and co. Then for Barcelona, we also see Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o, Ludovic Juli, Deco, Iniesta, Xavi. You see Yaya Toure, then Carles Puyol, Piqué, then Eric Abidal, Victor Valdes, and then also Daniel Alves. So we are back again to see Chelsea and Barcelona playing once again. And in fact, when Guardiola also took over Barcelona, he had some couple of games with Chelsea and it was very fantastic. So we are going to experience that same game again. And mind you, whenever Chelsea play Barcelona, Barca don't get it easy at all. Anytime that you see Chelsea playing Barcelona, it's a tough match. No side get it easy. So we are going to witness a very wonderful game. Then Chelsea again with Bayern Munich. I've already said it when I was talking about the teams that Bayern Munich will play. I mentioned Chelsea and then Bayern Munich. So let's move on and then Chelsea will be playing against Benfica. Benfica, don't underestimate Benfica playing Chelsea. Chelsea, when they are playing big clubs, they do well, but when they are playing clubs that are in the mid-table and then lower table, you see Chelsea suffering. Then Atalanta versus Chelsea is also going to be another game. That will be a tough game. Then Chelsea, Ajax, and then Napoli. Yes, Napoli. Antonio Conte has coached Chelsea before, and even has coached Tottenham Hotspur. So going back into England, yeah, it's not something new to Antonio Conte. And in fact, as you know him, he's a crazy coach, but there is one thing that I don't like about him in his coaching. Playing in the Champions League, normally he don't do well. I mean, he don't do well in the Champions League at all. So that is for Antonio Conte playing Chelsea. Then Paphos and then Qarabağ, we don't need to worry ahead. It's going to be a straight win for Chelsea. Borussia Dortmund will also be facing Inter Milan, Man City, Villarreal, Juventus, either Bordeaux or Glenet, and then also playing Tottenham Hotspur, and then Atletico Club, and then Copenhagen, and then Copenhagen. So these are the teams that Borussia Dortmund will have to go through before they will be able to qualify into the knockout stage. Then Barcelona, once again, Barcelona has gotten cheaper teams to play to qualify into the next stage. Apart from playing PSG, Chelsea, and Newcastle, the rest of the teams, imagine Barcelona playing Frankfurt, Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slavia Praha, and then Copenhagen. So it means that these 5 games, Barcelona have 15 points. So it means that in these 5 games, Barcelona already have 15 points. And with these 15 points, if they happen to get 2 draws, they can qualify. You understand? So even if they happen to draw with PSG, Chelsea, and then Newcastle, they've qualified. They will have 15 points. I mean, 18 points rather. They will have 18 points. Last season, they played through a weaker side to qualify, and then this season too is happening. Barcelona. Anyway, let's move on. Let's wait to see how Barcelona will play PSG, and how Barcelona will play Chelsea, and how they will play Newcastle. These are the 3 games that will be very tough for Barcelona to play in the group stage. Then now we move on to Arsenal will be playing Bayern Munich, Inter, and then Atletico de Madrid, Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slavia Praha, Kairat Almaty, and then Atletico Bilbao. So with Arsenal, they have 4 big games to play to qualify into the knockout stage. They have 4 big games. If Arsenal wants to get the automatic qualification, then they will have to find a solution for Bayern Munich, Inter, Atletico Madrid, and then Bilbao. But for playing Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slavia Praha, and then Kairat Almaty is just a straight win for Arsenal. Now we move on to Leverkusen. Leverkusen is also cooked here. Yeah, they are cooked. They will be playing PSG, Man City, Villarreal, Benfica, PSV, Olympiacos, Newcastle, and then Copenhagen. So they have 5 tough games to go through. That is playing PSG. Paris Saint-Germain, I don't see how Liverpool can overcome them. Even if they happen to get a draw, to me, that is a win. That would be a win to me. And also playing against Man City. How is Liverpool going to get a draw or even win against, Leverkusen rather, getting a draw against Man City or even winning? Villarreal, never think that they are par with Leverkusen. No. Villarreal is going to be a hard nut to crack for Leverkusen. Then from there, they will travel to Benfica. We all know Benfica, they are a very stubborn team. Yeah, they are a very stubborn team. Playing against them in their own backyard is not easy. If you want to know, ask Barcelona, they will tell you what happened to them last season. Then they will travel to Holland to go and play PSV Eindhoven. PSV on Eindhoven. They too another stubborn small club in Holland. I will skip Olympiacos because it is going to be a straight win for Leverkusen. But playing against Newcastle at the St. James Park, it won't be an easy thing. Then of course the last game, Copenhagen, that's going to be a straight win. But for our own Atletico Madrid, qualifying, wow, Atletico Madrid. Anyway, they can find their way through into the qualify stage, but I don't see them being part of the top 8. My reason here is that playing against Inter. Anyway, let's wait and see. This is football, anything can happen. And they will be traveling to Liverpool to go and play against Liverpool at the Anfield. Then entering Frankfurt, and then they will be playing Arsenal as well. That means Atletico Madrid will go to England two times. They will go there to play Liverpool and play Arsenal. And these 2 games, I don't want to be quick to predict a loss for Atletico Madrid. Let's wait. We are still in the transfer window. Maybe due to this, they will go into the market and get some players to beef up their squad in order to play Inter, Liverpool, and then Arsenal. So apart from that, the rest of the team, I'm seeing Atletico Madrid managing their way through. But when they face Eintracht Frankfurt and then PSV Eindhoven and then Galatasaray, that's going to be another thing. They are not a big club. They are not big clubs, but the level of Atletico Madrid playing against Frankfurt, PSV, and then Galatasaray is going to be another thing. So far as we are from the Spanish La Liga, obviously any team that plays from Spain in the Champions League will give our support so that we will have more team in the knockout stage, so that it will go in favor of Madrid. Yes, of course. Anytime that we have more teams in the knockout stage that are from Spain, you see Madrid going all the way to the finals. You see Madrid going all the way to the final. So those of us who support the La Liga, let's pray that Atletico Madrid manage his way through this group. Then we move on to Benfica. As usual, as you've heard it already, they will be playing Madrid and Chelsea. Then the other team that they will play is Leverkusen, Juventus, Napoli, Ajax, Karabakh, and then Newcastle. Wow. Benfica is cooked here. Honestly speaking, they are cooked. Because how are they going to play Madrid? Chelsea, Juventus, Newcastle, and then Napoli. Even if we are to add Leverkusen to it, it means that there are 6 games. They have 6 games to play. That the possible of losing is 80%. The possibility of losing those games is 80%. The possibility of losing those games is 80%, because I don't see how Benfica can play even Napoli. And when they travel from Bayern or from Germany to Holland to go and play Ajax, it's going to be a tough game for them. When Benfica is moving from Portugal to Holland, to Netherlands to go and play Ajax Amsterdam, it's going to be a tough game for them. How about playing Newcastle at the St. James Park? Playing Juventus at Juve. It won't be an easy game. Yes, they will play at home against Real Madrid, but looking at Madrid coming with red eye, can they stand? How about Chelsea? So this group here, Benfica is cooked. Then Atalanta. The Atalanta will also play Chelsea, PSG, Club Brugge, Eintracht Frankfurt, Slavia Praha, Marseille, Atletico Bilbao, and then Union FC. So a little effort from Atalanta here, they can qualify from this group. But like I said, it will be difficult for them to be part of the top 8. When I'm done, I'm going to give my prediction as to the first 8 teams that will qualify from their group. I'm going to tell you. That is going to be my prediction. Remember that this Champions League, the first 8 of the league of this group phase have automatic qualification. Then from the 9th to the 24th, they will play a home and away game to knock each other. Yes, they will play a home and away game to knock each other, so that those that will go through in this knockout stage will now join the first 8 that qualified for the quarterfinals. For the round of 16, and then the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the final game. So this is how the games will play. So like I said here, Benfica, they are cooked. Atlanta can manage their way through. And also looking at Villarreal, their top game here will be playing Man City, Dortmund, Juve, and then Leverkusen, Tottenham, and Ajax. So they have 6 big games to play in order to qualify from this group. So Villarreal, like I said, will give you our support. So long as you are from Spain, we will give you our support for you to move forward. Then Juventus also will play Dortmund, Madrid, Benfica, Villarreal, Sporting CP, either Bordeaux or Gleimich, then Pafos, and then Monaco. Yeah, Juve over here cannot be part of the top 8, but at least the last from the 9th to the number 24, Juve will be in between there to play through the knockout, the first knockout before the main knockout of the Champions League. Eintracht Frankfurt group, they'll be playing Liverpool, Barcelona, Atlanta, Atletico de Madrid, Tottenham, Napoli, Galatasaray, and then Karabakh. And Eintracht Frankfurt is cooked here. They are cooked because I don't see them going through Liverpool. They can't even get a draw. They can't even get a draw against Barcelona. They can't even get a draw against Atlanta. They cannot even get a draw against Atleti. They cannot get a draw against Tottenham, neither Napoli. So the only team that Eintracht Frankfurt can play here will be Karabakh and then Galatasaray. So over here they are cooked. Club Brugge here is also cooked up because playing against Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Atalanta, Olympique Marseille, Sporting CP, Monaco isn't going to be an easy game for them. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy game for them at all. Club Brugge, let's wait and see. This is football. In football, anything can happen. You'll be surprised to see Club Brugge causing a stir against Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and even Arsenal. But like I said, on paper, these clubs are ahead of Club Brugge. Now with Tottenham, these are the teams that they will play. They will play against Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain, Villarreal, Frankfurt, Silva Praha, Bordeaux or Gleimich, Copenhagen, and then Monaco. With this group, with a little bit push, Tottenham can qualify from this group into the next stage. PSV Eindhoven from Netherlands. They will be playing Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Atletico de Madrid, Leverkusen, Napoli, Olympiacos, Union SG, and then Newcastle. PSV Eindhoven is cooked here. Yes, they are cooked up. Playing against Bayern Munich is very tough. Liverpool is tough. Atletico de Madrid is tough. Leverkusen is also tough. Newcastle and Napoli is also tough. Sorry, PSV Eindhoven, you are cooked. Then Ajax Amsterdam also will be playing Inter, Chelsea, Benfica, Villarreal, Olympiacos, Marseille, Galatasaray, and then Karabakh. Napoli will be playing against Chelsea, Man City, Frankfurt, Benfica, Sporting CP, PSV, Karabakh, Copenhagen. Napoli can find their way through here. Sporting CP is also cooked because they will be playing against PSG, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Napoli, Atletico de Madrid, Atletico de Bilbao, Olympic Marseille. So the easy team that will be playing here is Karabakh and then Kairat Almaty. These are the easy teams. Olympiacos, also another team facing a tough and stiffer oppositions here, playing against Real, Barcelona, Leverkusen, Arsenal, PSV, and Ajax Amsterdam. These 6 clubs are going to give them a very, very tough game. It won't be an easy game for them at all. So qualification is going to be a problem for Olympiacos. Then Silva Praha, as you can see from the screen, they are also cooked. How are they going to play Barcelona, Inter, Arsenal, Atalanta, Tottenham, and then Bilbao? How are they going to play them? They are cooked here. So the 3 easy games that is here for them is Gleimich and then Pafos. And then also Gleimich or Bordeaux, they are also cooked in this group. They are going to play Man City, Dortmund, Juventus, Atleti, Tottenham, Monaco, and Galatasaray. This is not going to be an easy game for them. Their qualification is 0.0%. They can't qualify from this group. And in fact, they are going to be the whipping boys here. Olympic Marseille also find themselves in hot waters because they will be playing Liverpool, Real Madrid, Atlanta, Newcastle, and Sporting CP, and then Ajax. This is going to be a tough game. The easiest game for them is Club Brugge and then Union SG. Copenhagen is also another thing, playing Dortmund, Barca, Leverkusen, Villarreal, Napoli, Tottenham. These 6 games, none of them that they are going to win. So the easiest game for them is Almaty and Karabakh. Almaty and Karabakh. Monaco is also playing Man City, Real Madrid, Juve, Club Brugge, Tottenham, Bordeaux or Gleimich, Galatasaray, and Pafos. So Monaco here, another big game for them. Big games for them, playing Tottenham, Man City, Juve, and then Real Madrid. Big games. Yeah, but DS is 4. So the remaining 4, they can manage their way through and then get a qualification. But remember, with the 4 games, if they happen to win against Club Brugge, Pafos, Galatasaray, and then Gleimich or Bordeaux, that means they will have 12 points. That 12 points can take them somewhere, and then they can play in the knockout stage, the first knockout stage. That will give them the chance to play in the main knockout stage of the Champions League. Then we come to Galatasaray. As you can see from your screen, yes, they are playing these teams. Now Union SG, they are cooked. They are going to be the whipping boys in this group. Then Karabakh. Let's move on to now Atletico Club, that is Bilbao, Athletic de Bilbao, and then Newcastle. So Bilbao too is in hot waters. They will be playing PSG, Dortmund, Arsenal, Atalanta, Newcastle, Sporting CP. So the only easy games for them is playing Silva Praha and Karabakh. So if Atletico de Bilbao wants to qualify from these games, then they should take advantage of winning against Sporting CP, Silva Praha, Karabakh, and then the games between them and Dortmund, Atlanta, and then Newcastle, they should win 2 of them and draw 1. If they happen to do this, then they are through. The Newcastle too is also facing another tough opposition: Barca, PSG, Benfica, Leverkusen, Atletico de Madrid Club, and then Olympic Marseille, PSV, and then Union SG. So Bilbao will be playing Newcastle, as you see on your screen. So Newcastle also find themselves in serious waters. But remember, they have some fine players. They have fine players, and then they have the cash to go into the market to beef up their squad. So this is for you for the UEFA Champions League group phase draw. So now my predictions for the teams that will qualify. Of course, let's start from the top. PSG, looking at their group, can they get the top 8 qualification? Wow. this will be difficult too, because they need to win at least. And wow, their games here is not easy. Bayern Munich, Barca, Atlanta, Tottenham, Newcastle, and then Bilbao. You see, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games is very tough for PSG. It's very tough for PSG. Anyway, if they can make it into the top 8, they might not top the table, but they will be maybe the last but one on the top 8. If not, they are going to play another qualify. They are going to play another knockout match as they did last season to qualify into the main Champions League the knockout stage. So I don't see PSG being part of the top 8 in this group. Now for Real Madrid, another tough game to go through. And then over here, if the Madrid board and coaches are listening, let them listen to me carefully. Taking a look at this group, they need the help of Rodrygo and Vini Jr. This is not a group for Arda Güler and Mastratuano and Gonzalo Garcia. No, this is a group for Vini and Rodrygo. So if Mbappe wants to win the Champions League, then over here I'm expecting him to be more humble enough so that he can get the support from Vini and Rodrygo to push themselves out of this group. Because in all the groups, this is one of the group of death. This is one of the group of death for Real Madrid. So they are playing tough teams in order to qualify for the next knockout stage. And with this group, I don't have the confidence to predict that Real Madrid can qualify into the top 8. I don't have the confidence. If Real Madrid can, then they will have to beat Man City, Liverpool, Juve, Benfica, but most especially Man City and Liverpool and Juventus. These are the 3 games that Madrid has to win at all costs. The rest of the 5 games they can manage their way through. Winning 5, 3-5 will give you 15. So if Madrid happens to get even 3 draws from Juve, Liverpool and Man City, they will have 80 points, and this will put them into the top 8 teams that will qualify. But over here, 3-6. So the first 4 will give you, so that means we want that 24 points. If Madrid wants a cool qualification without going through any headache, then they will have to win all their games, and they will need the help of Vini Jr. and Rodrygo Goes to help them do this. Prediction. The first team that will qualify or be part of the top 8, Barcelona. They have a cheap group. Barcelona will qualify. That is the number 1. As for DS, is constant. Juventus too can make it into the top 8. Then Tottenham Hotspur will also make the top 8. I'm not having to right. Then who else again? Bayern Munich will also make it through into the top 8. So I'm now left with 4. Man City will also make it through into the top 8 because their group is also cheap. They also make it, so I'm left with 3. Liverpool will also make it into the top 8. I'm left with 2. Then Chelsea can also make it into the top 8. Then Arsenal can make it into the top 8. There is a possibility for Real Madrid making it into the top 8, but it will depend on their first 3 games. There are games between Man City, Liverpool, and Juventus that will determine whether Real Madrid can make it into the top 8. So for now, this is where we'll end, and then when the Champions League starts, we'll be bringing you proper analysis between each team that plays each other, the number of times that they've met, number of goals scored, and then their home and away games, who has the edge over the other. Remember, in this group league phase, there is no home and away, so you have 4 home games, 4 away games, so you take an advantage of any games that you play at home. So if you're a fan of any of these clubs here, please keep this in mind. There is no home and away game, so if a team comes to your home and disturb you, never think that you can go to his home. No, it's over. So take advantage of your first game, win and win well, and then take each game step by step. Please comment, like and share. Thank you so much. We'll meet again.